an interesting project?
At first, it's very important for the farmers to find new ways of income, and in second place, of course, it's very important for for the whole society to find new ways, sustainable ways of getting new energy. So, at first, the farmers and indirectly for the whole community also.
So in summertime we pump the water from the cold water well. We flow it through the silver box you see here. That's a heat exchanger. It's a titanium heat exchanger. And on the other side of the heat exchanger we take in the Easter water. As the Easter water is above 15 degrees, you can transfer the warmth of the Easter water into groundwater, and that way pump it into warm well. Then we have a large volume of warm water in the warm well, which in winter time we can harvest again. This summer we put into the ground some 92 megawatts of warmth. So that's huge amounts of getting by in electricity, you would never make something like this properly.
Especially if they're growing, they take deep rhythms.
Marine platform, not far from the coast, but on the sea, where they have the intention to produce energy, mainly wind energy, but also to test other kind of energy, mainly from waves, and at the same time to test some production of fish on some cultivation, but on the sea, not on the land. The idea is to combine all the process and also maybe to have some economy of scale in order to not only produce energy from wind, but other kind of energy and at the same time fish production.
Do you have
I think the unique feature of this project, of the Zeeland project, is the fact that we try to produce fish without using other fish. So without using fish meal, fish oil, but instead relying upon our own produced feed, and those are direct ones.
And in what way does this project contribute to the reduction of CO2 emission?
Well, the most effective way is that we focus here on aquaculture, on the growing of sole. If you compare that with the fishery on sole, that's quite energy consuming, because sole in the wild has a very low density. It means that you have only less than 5 fish per hectare, instead of 5 fish per square meter, which we have here in our ponds. So to collect in nature, in the North Sea, fish at a density of 5 individuals per hectare is quite energy consuming. It takes a lot of oil for the ship that harvests the fish.
How did this cooperation came about?
This cooperation started about 10 years ago, and it was an initiative of Yara. Yara is a fertilizer company, and Yara has a lot of chemical processes, and in these processes heat and CO2 came free, and it was putting into the air. And this was a kind of a pollution. So people in and around Yara thought maybe we can use this heat and this CO2 better. And then on the other side there was a movement in the Netherlands to find places where we can make greenhouses, a lot of greenhouses. Greenhouses are good for the production, good for the economical purposes and so on. So the sustainable world of Yara and the greenhouse world of the glass houses areas met and then came together. So
it was a very interesting day, really interesting combination of research and demonstration, especially with the larger greenhouse production using Yara. Two really different examples of closed-loop systems that are really good way of reusing energy and reducing carbon emissions. The farmers that we work with in the UK, we have lots of different research projects going on, so it's always interesting to get examples of different research that's happening and see whether different systems might be relevant for processes. We don't have anything necessarily of the scale that you have here with Yara, but with smaller processing units, capturing the energy might be a really good way to increase or diversify production. And again with the aquacultural systems, because we're close to the area, so it's really interesting ideas that might be relevant for us. So thank you, really good day, really well looked after. So thanks very much.
Okay. You say maybe it's also something for our region or for in Denmark? Or?
We haven't actually things like that at home because the legislation that makes the rules are so doesn't make it possible to sell out your waste energy in Denmark.
Okay.
But we should work on that to change the rules.
Yeah.
Hopefully in some year we can copy the project here. Yeah.